Please steer towards the center of your row, away from the outside gates. And due to the nature of today's route, the route will sometimes change and adjust itself according to movements, fire effects, and many water effects. You want to have your cell phones and cameras out for further opportunities, but keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. Finally, for your safety and for the safety of those around you, please do not use selfie sticks while you're on board. This is our 60th anniversary made us stop at our gates on July 15th, 1964. The first of our red, white, candy-striped liner trams took 67 passengers on a 2-hour driving tour of the Universal Lot. And the world-famous studio tour was born. We started with 2 drivers, 2 guides, and 1 ticket seller working out of a trailer on Licorice Boulevard. And there the studio tour expanded with fantastic one-of-a-kind elements like the Lux Ride and the burning house, which were in this area of the lot back in the 1970s and 80s, which were one-of-a-kind Hollywood elements. I just mentioned Lou Russell at the head of the company back in the late 20th century. Well, we actually named the building after Lou Russell. The Lou Russell Tower was used for some filming for our 11th Oscar-winning Best Picture, Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, which is now streaming on Peacock, and the Lou Russell building is just ahead of us there. The kind of Sherman Tower on the right. That's to be confused with the Comcast Tower on the left. That's what I mean. So let's see where our 60th anniversary studio tour will take us today. We're going to start by heading out to the front lot, home to things like administrative offices, sound and editing facilities, a fledgling office campus,
and seeing the trams filled with exciting guests as they drive by. So, keep an eye out. You never know who or what you'll see in the studio tour.
And speaking of true story, this is streams on Peacock. Stages 18 and 19, the last 2 on the way here. They were recently used for the series, The Man on the Inside the Tentacles, the Universal series coming to Netflix in November from Mike. So Illumination Entertainment is one of our sources of animated content. They first unleashed the millions out to the world with Despicable Me back in 2010. Earlier this year, they gave us this office here. And coming soon from Mark Glatt at Universal, the Wicked movies. Wicked Part 1, looking to find gravity in theaters. November 22nd of this year, and then November 21st of next year, we're going to get Wicked Part 2. Cynthia Erivo is Elphaba, Ariana Grande is Glinda.
We're about to cross the imaginary boundary onto the back lot, where we have exterior sets for many outdoor scenes. Over the last 60 years, studio tour guests have seen these locations turned into big cities, quiet suburbs, even that guy's hometown. Yeah, that guy. For countless movies and TV shows. This is Universal's Metro sets.
Note that the Metro sets are, for the most part, vertical facades, not much more than false fronts and sides of buildings. We found that for filming purposes, that's very often all you need to build, only what the camera can see. And you can see these Metro sets in the Miami series, American Ninja Warrior on NBC, and to the left, this facade is addressed to look like the receiving area for the fictitious St. Denis Regional Medical Center from St. Denis, Illinois. We're going to see this actually on the show starting November 12th. Now the look at where we're headed, or should I say, where we're headed. We're taking a trip back to the future into Courthouse Square, currently dressed as 1990s Franklin, Massachusetts for season 2 of Ted. This was also Hill Valley in the Back to the Future film. We're going to hear now from one of the stars of this movie's Leah Thompson and co-writer, co-producer Bob Gale.
Welcome to the Courthouse Square. These sets were used to create Hill Valley in the Back to the Future films.
And they represented multiple time periods, 1985, 1955, and the far, far distant future, 2015.
And what was the Hill Valley Courthouse and Clock Tower has now been dressed to look like the fictitious John Hancock High School in Framingham, Massachusetts for season 2 of Ted. To the makers is Framingham Peters. Here's the Courthouse Square, Hill Valley in the 1950s. Scenes here is in Psycho 2 and to kill and Mockingbird. Sets also appears part of Buffalo, New York, and Bruce Almighty starred Jim Carrey in Hill Valley and was at the time a far-off distant year 2015 from 1989 to Back to the Future Part 2. Speaking of time travel, Sets also appears different cities at different time periods for the time travel series Quantum Leap starring Raymond Lee, like the Sets making 1985 Philadelphia during Live Aid for the pilot episode of Quantum Leap. With his 1985 scene to the theater marquee back there, and a fantasy double feature play. The double feature was The Goonies and St. Elmo's Fire, double of 80s movies. The alley to the left here is actually a West Village street you can see in the music video. The Edge of Glory starred Harley Quinn herself, Academy Award winner Lady Gaga, and New York City is also where they made a King Kong with his untimely end. And we're going to be hearing from the director of Universal's 2005 retelling of the classic King Kong story. It's on the Academy Award winner and Eagles enthusiast Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me watch movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about...
Classics, The Collapsing Bridge and The Runaway Train. Both were added to the tour about 50 years ago. The Collapsing Bridge was a mechanical effect when the trains used to cross. The hydraulic support used to split and the bridge would start to collapse. The Runaway Train was originally located in our western sense. It used to hurtle toward the front before coming to a grinding halt. And now everybody, adventure awaits us. So please, remain seated. Keep your arms and legs inside. Remember to loose articles. Once again, here's Peter Jackson.
Universal Train. Since this is not a movie sequel, a movie continuation, we are just taking the Kong and the Skull Island and the dinosaurs that we established in the feature film. And this is, another day, another incident on Skull Island, using the features and the character personality of Kong as he appears in the movie.
Alright, now adventure awaits us. Please remain seated. Keep your arms and legs aside. Remember to loose articles. And now, welcome to Skull Island. 63. And the whole King Kong phenomenon began back in 1933 with the release of the original King Kong, released by RKO Pictures and directed by Marion C. Cooper. And what was happening here at Universal back in the 30s? We were getting in the heyday of making classic monster movies like Underwater Scenes and Eric Chapman for the Underwater Scenes. Was it the Wolfman, played by Lon Chaney Jr., Dr. Frankenstein, played by Colin Clive, and Dr. Frankenstein, Colin Clive. He's the one that says the famous line Also, earlier I mentioned that the majority of our sound stages are on the front lot. The majority, but not all of them. Coming up on the left.
Now that you've heard the rest, you can hear the best. Who can be with the S and have this on your chest?
Snoop Joe's the voice, Millie September 23rd, NBC Monkey.
Our stage 33 over here is used for Happy's Place with Reba McEntire premiering October 18th. And speaking of monster movies, this is late over here to left, Mark Twain, and was the Black Lagoon, both the creature from the black. Are taking a little break. This is the lower level of a two-level set. Okay, so we'll get this in a second. Good. That's what we're going to California trailers, which we get all tonight. November. It was released November 15th, 1974, and the following year, 1975, saw the release of an even scarier movie, Steven Spielberg's Jaws. We're now reporting Andy Allen from Jaws, but a problem has developed. Well, it's a situation. The tide has gone out, leaving the boatman behind dry and leaving us with a little fish out of water. So we can't go into the pier right now, but the tide will be coming back probably in the coming months later this year. So there's Anthony, which you might also recognize as the town of Cabot Cove, Maine, for the television series Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury as Jessica Fletcher, the daring author detective. We have this adjacent image which was recently used for the Quantum Leap series. And believe it or not, just behind Anthony here is Old Mexico, which appears as contemporary release for the season 1 Quantum Leap episode Fellow Travelers. It's also here that we're going to check out another Studio Tour classic. To tell us more about it, here we got today's show co-host and brother anchor Al Roker.
Time for my favorite part of the tour, weather. When it comes to film and TV, it is truly a special effect. In fact, to demonstrate how weather effects are created, we debuted our first major attraction here on the Studio Tour way back in 1968. Welcome to the only part of the back lot with a 100% chance of rain. The flash flood.
All right, everyone, please remain seated. Keep your arms and legs aside. Hang on to loose articles as well. And this. On the left, it looks like a flash flood heading straight for the tram. Take cover. Al and I were having some fun with the event there. Yeah, the rain is coming into effect on Big Fat Liar with Frankie Muniz, Amanda Bynes, and Paul Giamatti. We're now crossing a border into 6 Points, a Western filming area which appears as the Old West town of Salvation in the year 1879 in the Quantum Leap episodes Salvation or Bust in the season 1 season finale Judgment Day. These guests also appear in the Sony Pictures production of Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Academy Award winners Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, and from streaming shows like The Mandalorian on Disney+, Cobb Vanth himself, Timothy Oliphant. And coming up on the left here, this is Opera House. This is actually another example of a practical set with a complete interior and exterior. It was built for the United Artists film Wild Blood with Jeff Bridges. It was built as a saloon, which you can see that it looks like on the inside. And let's see how many of these Universal wrestling stars you can recognize. Just about every one of them walked these streets at one time or another. Right now we're heading down John Wayne Road, making right onto James Street, and Dave Thomas of SCTV and Strange Brew. Up on the left is Columbus Street now being prepared for season 2 of town. Also, looking at the line and street signs for the Back to the Future films. Steven Spielberg, by the way, was one of the executive producers of the Back to the Future films. He's going to join us now and talk about his early days here at the studio. You might say it goes all the way back to the US. Well, first of all, on the left, we had a restored glamour tram and some examples of picture cars. And it's any vehicle on the set that you was going to see, like this gyrosphere from Jurassic World, directed by Collins from Bird Movies. Happy Death Day, The Black Phone with Ethan Hawke, everybody's favorites. Electronic Babies and Baby. Also the upcoming Fifth Ride. And the Paramount DreamWorks production of Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds.
It was all designed around the vision of Steven. He said, to sit down to talk about where we live. I thought, what if the 747 goes on right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're looking good. Listen to me. Listen. Close your eyes, okay? Now close.
I remember going to Universal Studios when I was 12 years old, feeling this feeling of wonder. One of my first trips to Universal Studios, seeing the Jaws ride. One of my favorite movies of all time. Just feeling like, that's him. That's the Jaws. But I don't even know what that is.
It's Jupiter's Planet, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Jupiter.
Over there, look into the winter and have
love their picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie kid show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Well, a little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso Experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy, gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of the UFO hotspot. What's a bad miracle? You're about to find out. Welcome to the world of no.
We're going to do what the voice is telling us to do and get out. And earlier we saw a